My calling started from a place of vulnerability and being quite broken during COVID-19. And I remember going to talk to my vicar at the time when I was living back at home. It was just a feeling of like coming home after a long time. It was seeing him preside at the Eucharist. I thought, that's it, that's what I want to do, to bring people to bring everyone into the kingdom of God. I didn't really understand the call because I was 18, 19 at the time. It was so sudden. So I spoke to my priest at Lancaster University and I said, look, this is what's going on. I've started reading my Bible more. I don't really know what's going on or what this means. And he said to me, no pressure, come in, let's have a conversation and see what comes up. And since then, I just started to go to the chaplaincy centre at university, and he really helped me. He gave me books on what it means to be a priest, and it just led me more and more into that. So then I contacted the diocese back here, contacted my DDO, who's the director of Ordinands, and she said, let's have a conversation. So I did, and then she said, let's put you forward for interviews. Because during my teenage years, I just completely forgot about it. I didn't really see any relevance to God in my life. Even though I went to a Catholic and Anglican high school, it was just something I did, not something I believed. When my calling started, I felt particularly alone. And then to feel this overwhelming grace and love of God surround me during my probably one of the worst moments of my life, that to me spoke volumes that God has always been there and has always been next to me holding my hand even when I had no idea. So it's taught me a lot on how to trust God and that he works in the most ridiculous ways. I didn't think I would ever be here. I can remember when I started reading my Bible more, my mum said to me, what's this about? Are you thinking about being a vicar? And my sister burst out laughing and said, there is no way Elin would ever do it. And I said, there's no way, absolutely, definitely not me. And then, as usual, whenever you say no to God, he normally says, you're doing it, and brings you through it, I suppose. But one thing that comforts me is that God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. And just comparing who I was before I said yes and me now, and I've realised that God has called me as I am, and God will mould me in whichever way he wants me to be. And I'm so much more confident and at peace and at joy by saying yes. And saying yes has been the best yes I've ever said. So, yeah. First step, pray about it. See what comes up. And if you feel that you're called to something and you're not quite sure what it is, seek people out. Speak to your vicar. They can give you books to read, which is what I found was really helpful, or videos, links to have a look at St. Padans, where we train. Carry on if you've got a calling, and don't be scared, because God brings you through it all.